And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport here on a Monday, and it's the Monday of the PGA Championship.
That's right.
Quail Hollow. Also, 1 month from today, the TCA outing, Publicans.
That's right.
The Mets game. So we are getting to an exciting part of the year. Not to mention the two local baseball teams taking the series over the weekend. So imagine if the Knicks. But hey, I mean, what are you gonna do? Chance for retribution tonight. I know we were just kind of recapping before we got started here, Tony, but what a weekend, huh?
Yes, dude. What a weekend it was, certainly in the sports area. Mother's Day, obviously, out to all the moms out there.
Absolutely.
What a time it was, I think, for Mother's Day, too. It was nice to see. I told you the buffet, dude, over the weekend, stuff your face. So, yeah, have a great time. Excited to be back here on Monday, like you said, dude. I mean, we have a major championship coming up. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, and we had some good golf, over the weekend at the Cricket Club.
Oh, it's right, dude.
The Grand Strand. Sepp Straka. So there's just a lot to get to.
Yeah, dude.
Were you dialed into the baseball this weekend? I know you were like busy, this and that. So like, did you get a chance to watch much?
Yeah, dude. Friday, Sunday, predominantly. Saturday, Harrison Stag Party, kind of on the road.
Mm-hmm.
But with the early game, I was able to catch at least most of it, I guess. And you know what? Not for nothing. Saturday was the one loss. It's like, who even wants to remember that anyway? Dude. So yeah, caught some good sports. Obviously, Sunday too was home. So I was able to watch the golf, dude, which was great. Honestly, the course was beautiful. A lot of positive reviews from the golfers as well about that course. So that's kind of cool. Should be interesting to see how that course is, I guess, mixed in for other tournaments and stuff like that. So, again, I don't know. It was first time, right? The Truist wasn't at Quail Hollow, right?
Yep, it had been Quail Hollow every other time. They had played it there twice, in 1 year, but they gave it, another venue a shot, and I think they should always do that.
Yeah.
And also, I think it's time too to mix up, where they're hosting events. Like it's crazy to think too that like the Travelers Championship in Cromwell, Connecticut later this summer. I mean, that's the only Northeast Championship, in the tri-state area. And it's like, how is there not a PGA Tour event in the state of New York, Tony, unless it's a major championship?
Yeah, we got to change that, dude. Come
on. They used to have, I forgot, I don't know, it was at Westchester Country Club. I forgot the name of it, but they used to have an event there. That was perfect. So, they should do something similar. But I'm sure down the road they will. But like you said, definitely, excited, for the PGA Championship coming up. And I did see we got an Ernie and Josh B.
Yes, you know the deal, dude. There are two early birds here, hyped up, dude. Josh B, early starts. What is up, fam? What's up, Josh B? Hope you enjoyed your Mother's Day, as well as Ernie, I'm sure, who celebrated nicely, who comes in with the year.
Yeah, I heard
dude.
Michael Buck cooked for the whole family.
Stop.
Come
on, no way.
But it was actually, besides obviously the outcomes of the game, but and I was mentioning this to you on Friday, but Saturday was pretty awesome. Met up with Corey and Mark, and we got started, before the Knicks and the Yankee games started at Colony in Stamford. And we always say this, but there really is nothing like getting the pizza at Colony at the bar.
Yes.
Unbelievable. When bacon, onion, hot oil, can't beat it. The Allagash pitchers. So that was great. Then went over to Bobby B's. It was packed. Everyone there to watch the Knicks game. But then after halftime, everybody kind of dissipated. We stayed there through the end of the Yankee game. Unfortunately, we'll get to that. But The only loss of the weekend there on Saturday. And then
The parallels.
finished it off at Abyss, Greenwich Ave, the hibachi. That was great. You always could go for some good hibachi.
Steak and shrimp, or
it was a steak and shrimp situation.
nice, dude. Yes. Any appetizers, sushi pre-rolls?
No,
or?
Whenever you get hibachi, you really don't need anything additional because they give you the soup, the salad, the ice cream at the end. So that more than does it. You know.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I see we have a couple more that.
Ernie obviously having a little bit of fun here, saying that there was a 9-course meal made by Bukta. And then Josh B says, thanks. Hope you guys enjoyed yours as well. I definitely did. And then Donna with a nice good morning on this early Monday, dude.
Good morning.
And then Ernie says, Knicks game, ? You mean the day the tide changed?
I still just can't, Ernie, I understand the chirps, but I don't know, man. To be happy about that for Boston coming in hot. And I still can't believe, and I know they did it all season and I wasn't there watching, but it's just how they shot the 3-ball. I mean, that was just unbelievable. You know what I mean? You're just you're zoning out, Tony. You're half watching, and then it's just all of a sudden every time. No, just every time you look up, it's just a 3 going in. It's a surprise if it doesn't go in.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it was kind of a matter of time, right? I mean, we talked about it. Even you said, dude, that's been their strategy for all season. Yeah. They're not going to change it. They're going to keep going back to it, and eventually they were going to fall, I suppose. And I guess this is the third time they're 0-3 against the Celtics at home, I guess, for the season, right?
Yeah, because they were 0-4 regular season.
Yeah.
This was the first home game.
So we'll see what happens, dude.
Big game tonight. I mean, do you think that, a loss like that takes all the wind out of the sails, or do you think that they're going to, at least give it a more competitive effort tonight, even if they don't end up ultimately winning?
I mean, I wouldn't say maybe all the wind. I mean, I would say, a loss like that obviously is tough, dude, especially since it just felt like you said, anytime you were watching this game, you saw 3 going for the Celtics, even with the Knicks just never really had it. And it's just, it does make tonight's game kind of a must win. I mean, you're not going to go back to TD Garden with a tie series and, losing the past 2 games at home. Obviously, like you said, it does create more pressure, I think, on the Knicks to get another victory, So yeah, I would say a little bit. But I would imagine the Garden though rocking still.
Oh yeah, but tickets are half price, $500 now. But I mean, it's a Monday versus Saturday afternoon.
Oh yeah, true.
It's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Still obviously crazy prices. It'll be interesting to see as the tip-off gets closer if those tickets get cheaper.
Dempsey's Stakeout,
right? And did you see the shot of J.R. Smith in the crowd or no?
No.
He was in there, white tee, glasses on, and Brunson made a 3-pointer to get it within 20.
Yeah.
And they're going to commercial, and he just stands up and it's just
Oh,
it was too funny.
God,
I didn't know that was him at first, and I was dying laughing. Who is this guy? And then I saw that it was JR.
The shades were on.
Yeah,
dude.
literally
the
shades were on. So that was kind of hilarious. But yeah, hopefully they're able to bounce back later tonight. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But you know where we gotta go. The world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Drop it. Yep. And Alonso cracks one to win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So it was quite the slugfest in Sacramento this weekend for the Yankees as they ultimately take 2 out of 3 and score 29 runs, Tony, in 3 games against the Athletics. And they really got off to a fast start, starting with the game on Friday night. And it was ironic. We had talked about Will Warren on the hill, the drinking when he's pitching, and he had the best start of his career. Pitched into the 8th inning, Tony. 7 1/3, 4 hits, 1 run, 7 strikeouts, and only 1 walk to pick up his second win of the season. The Yankees end up winning 10-2, and it was kind of interesting, a late start. So I only tuned in for the first inning and a half. They leave runners on the first 2 innings, so you're kind of frustrated after that. And then little did I know I would wake up to the fact that Jason Dominguez ends up hitting 3 homers, 7 RBIs, a grand slam, one of the home runs from the right side of the plate. Best game of his career, youngest Yankee to hit 3 home runs in a game.
No shit.
So, I mean, you think about how long the Yankees have been around. I mean, that's quite the, feat. So you love to see that. And, he had 7 of the 10 RBIs, and really the rest of the offense did their job. 14 hits. And you look at, other than, the Dominguez 3 home runs, which is obviously a big other, but Paul Goldschmidt with a solo shot in the third, he's starting to lift the ball a little more now, so it's good to see that. You also had Ben Rice with an RBI double, and he had a big grand slam in the game yesterday, so he's been heating up. And you just look at besides the totals there with the 10 runs, the 14 hits. JC Escar got the start at catcher. He was 2 for 4. Ben Rice 2 for 5. Goldschmidt 2 for 4. It's amazing as this season progresses how Judge and Goldschmidt have been able to maintain their batting averages, and this was after a 1 for 4 spot on Friday. Judge's average was down to 396. Now it's still back over 400. Crazy that we're talking about this in almost mid-May right now. But Goldschmidt, hitting around 350. I mean, it's unbelievable what this offense, has been able to do. And when you came into the year where there was, concerns about the offense, but the thing is, they've been getting a lot of offense from places, maybe they weren't, necessarily expecting it from. And especially the high production from Goldschmidt. He was a question mark after having, one of the worst seasons of his career last year. Trent Grisham, with the 10 home runs, who would have seen that coming? And then Ben Rice, who had really struggled, last year after hitting those 3 home runs against the Boston Red Sox. So all of those guys contributing. And before this, Dominguez had shown signs, but not really busted out. And you really felt like this could really propel him moving forward, really rounded out his numbers. And even Yorbat Vivas, who's up, filling in for Jazz, had 2 hits in this game. So it was just an all-out, great effort. And great to see Warren pitch like that, because we're going to need him to pitch for a little more here, because Stroman obviously still injured. Not that we really want him back. Heel is still a while away. So you're going to need him to eat innings. That's what he did in this one. And then you stayed away from your top guys. I mean, Mark Leiter Jr. got 2 outs, and then Yeri De Los Santos pitched the final frame there. So once again, Yankees winning Friday night 10-2 in Sacramento. Saturday, was a back and forth game. Unfortunately, the only loss of the weekend, and it's a shame because this was a game that they fought back in. And it was very unlike Carlos Rodon, the way he pitched this year. He makes that mistake, gave up 2 home runs in this game. Those were all the runs he allowed, but a 3-run homer to Brent Rooker in the 3rd inning gave the A's a 4-0 lead. And Rodon ended up staying in, pitching 6 innings, but 8 hits, 4 runs, no walks, but 10 strikeouts. So even with the 4 runs allowed, ERA still sits at 3.29. So he hung in there. Yankees battled back. We talked about Judge. He hit 2 home runs in the 4th and the 6th innings. So, it was 4-2 at that point. You tied it up actually in the 6th because Wells and Cabrera hit sacks flies. And then you take the lead as Oswald Peraza hits a homer. The wind started blowing out late in this game, 354 feet to left field. So that gave the Yankees a 6-4 lead. You turn to Fernando Cruz, who's been nails this year. And unfortunately, he gives up a 3-run homer to Shea Langoliers to give the A's a 7-6 lead. So, you tried to battle back in the 8th inning, no luck. So it's, 7-6 still. But then, unfortunately, Ian Hamilton and Tyler Matzik combined to give up 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th. So 11-6. And then, the Yankees put on 1 in the 9th to make it 11-7. But that was the final So you lose that game. And the whole thing was, Rodon makes a couple mistakes. So those were the couple runs you gave up. Cruz, like I said, very unlike him to not hold the lead there, but it's tough. I mean, the ball really flies out of this ballpark. It's in the Pacific Coast League that's, widely known for scoring. So,
short wall.
I mean, not even that. I don't think the wall's that short. It's just the ball just flies. It's just wind tunnels,
Yeah.
JP Sears pitched well for those 5 innings. You got the bullpen after. And then by the time Mason Miller comes in for a 5-out save, I mean, you're not going to score 5 runs against him. So,
no.
It felt like a little bit of a missed opportunity, especially the fact that, your offense still did pretty well. I mean, that's the thing that I look at in these losses is, did we get 3 hits and not even compete? And obviously that wasn't the situation. It was a rare time that our pitching, let us down. But you always feel good. Okay, at least the offense did their job. So, that, a better game, is around the corner. And, speaking of everybody contributing, we talked about Judge, the 2 home runs, so 2 for 5, 3 RBIs. And then you also had Cody Bellinger with 2 hits. So we talked about the importance of him kind of coming out of that slump he had been in, 2 for 4. So good to see that. Peraza hitting the home run, that's big for his confidence. Overall solid performance, just gave up a couple home runs that did us in, unfortunately. But that's set up for an afternoon game on Sunday, the series finale against good old friend Luis Severino. So facing, back-to-back former teammates here, Sears and then Severino. And the Yankees just absolutely went to town on Severino as he gets a loss to this one. Yankees end up winning 12-2, 4 innings, 9 hits, 8 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and 2 walks. So, I think it really helped that this guy had been, on your team for a while. You know what type of pitcher he is. You know what to look for. And that's exactly what the Yankees did. And how about the fact, too, you scored 10 runs and, only 1 home run. Obviously, grand slam, 4 runs. But it was a lot of contact, Michael Butka, which is, what you love to see here. So it started early in the often. You score 5 runs there in the second inning. A Volpe single, a Cabrera walk, a fielder's choice from Vivas, an RBI single from Judge. Oswaldo Cabrera, next inning, had a double to score Dominguez to make it 6-0. And then Ryan Yarbrough, who was making the spot start, Carrasco in AAA after not getting claimed. So he gave us a run on a Miguel Andujar single. So like we said, a lot of former Yankees playing a role in this one. So that made it 6-1. But then, Rice just blows the doors down here. A huge grand slam to right field. Talk about that ball just flying out of that ballpark, 398 feet. Volpe, Wells, and Cabrera on base for that one. So 10-1. And you really coasted from there. Paul Goldschmidt doubled in Aaron Judge to make it 11-1. And then Ryan Yarbrough makes one other mistake here. A JJ Bleday solo shot, 11-2. But Yarbrough gets through the 5 innings, giving up the 2 earned runs. So his first win as a Yankees starting pitcher. And then the bullpen does the job. And again, you're able to use, your low leverage guys. So you got a 3-game set against Seattle, who was playing really good baseball before being swept by Toronto this weekend. So nice that all your guys will be lined up because Yuri De Los Santos goes 3 innings, maybe even gets sent back down after this one. And then Tyler Matzik pitched the final inning. And once again, the offense just paving the way. You look at the box score here. Ben Rice, the 1 homer, 4 RBIs, 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Aaron Judge, 4 for 5. So the average, Tony, 409.
Oh my God.
9. I mean, I we've been watching baseball for a while. Do you remember anybody, being, hitting over 400 in May like this? I don't.
I really don't think so. I mean, I don't know. Maybe one of Trout's earlier years, but other than that, no.
Yeah, and I'm not expecting him to hit 400, but I think, there's a very good chance he's going to be hitting, between 350 and 380 at least, right?
I mean, if he keeps this up, yeah, dude.
It's just unbelievable what he's able to do. I've never seen somebody with such good, plate discipline, but power at the same time. So unbelievable what Aaron Judge is doing. So that was great. And then Goldschmidt as well. Now 349 batting average here, 3 hits in this game. And then Jason Dominguez, we talked about the big game on Friday night, 3rd consecutive start here. 2 for 5 with 2 runs scored. Anthony Volpe, 2 for 5 with 2 runs scored. So Volpe is a guy you really want to get going. And then Cabrera and Austin Wells also with hits too. So, offense humming, 2nd consecutive series win here after taking 2 of 3 from San Diego at Yankee Stadium. And then, this road trip will conclude in Seattle, 3 against the Mariners here. So you're in first place. And I believe it's 2-game lead, if I'm not mistaken, over the Boston Red Sox. But you just feel good at where you're at. You're amongst, the league leaders in all these, offensive categories. And it is a 2-game lead. I think especially because coming into the season, sure, it kind of changed once we had some, pitching injuries, but the fact that offense, was questioned. And they really have answered the bell here. 235 runs scored, a plus 75 run differential, which is actually the top in the majors. And actually, after yesterday, they have scored the most runs in the major leagues, 2 more than the Chicago Cubs. So, you really feel good about where things are, especially with help around the corner. Whether we're talking about, Jonathan Loaisiga, Jake Cousins, Giancarlo Stanton, Luis Gil. So the fact that you're going to add to this team and they're playing well, you love to see it. And a big important stretch coming up here because after this 3 against the Mariners, obviously the 3 games against the Mets this coming weekend, and then you're home for Texas, and then you're actually on a 9-game road trip, Colorado, Angels, Dodgers. So some big games, with Dodgers and Mets coming up as well, and then just being on the road for a while. So this is definitely, the stretch run. And I mentioned Seattle. Most of this year has played good ball. I think you feel good, though, because the pitching hasn't been as strong as it was last year. So you're facing Hancock tonight versus Schmidt, Max Fried tomorrow versus Brian Wu, and then Will Warren. We'll see if he can, find magic once again here going up against Luis Castillo. So definitely feel really good. And Dominguez hitting the 3 home runs. I mean, that's awesome. And I've always loved too, because, there's just not a lot of switch hitters. And obviously this was a little different because he hit 3 home runs, but just, the whole, being a switch hitter and then hitting 1 from each side of the plate. I always just thought that was awesome.
Yeah, dude, that is sick. Obviously, great to have a switch hitter like that on your roster. But you mentioned Will Warren, dude. I mean, what are your expectations for moving forward? I know, because, obviously, you were singing a song of a different tune on Friday, laughing, Will Warren, I don't know. Drinking, dude. The Sun Cruisers.
I feel like we're at Bar A right now. No, I don't think that those, tepid expectations have changed at all. I hope that he pitches well against Seattle, but, he's right now just kind of eating innings for us. We know that, like I said, at some point, Gil is going to come back. You would think, too, come trade deadline time, they might, acquire somebody. And then whether we want to or not, Marcus Stroman's kind of getting close to, at least I think going on a rehab assignment. So he's going to get another opportunity as well. So you just, you know what I mean? At the top of the rotation here, with Fried, with Rodon, with Schmidt, they're kind of locked in. But those final 2 spots, especially, I think Gil, probably still has till maybe even July. So you're going to have to, get innings from somewhere. And I like what Yarbrough has done. He's been that guy, kind of jack of all trades in his career, moving between the rotation and the bullpen. So, I think he's kind of getting stretched out. And then, Warren will be one of those guys that has an opportunity. But like I said, if, he kind of falters and then, Stroman will get a crack at it. So this is a big opportunity for him. Otherwise, he might be finding himself in the bullpen or the minor leagues.
You think he'll do bullpen?
Yeah. No, I mean, he's not Marcus Stroman. I mean, he'll pitch out of the bullpen. But also there might not be room for him in the bullpen. With Cousins and Loizaga coming back. So it's interesting. But like I said, I definitely, really like where we're at. And it's just like you go to Seattle and it's the same thing. You want to take 2 out of 3. And you love these first 2 games. You feel like you really have the edge in pitching with Schmidt and Fried versus Hancock and Wu.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely, dude.
So yeah, let's go Yankees. Looking forward to watching the game later, and definitely just pumped. The direction things are headed.
Mm-hmm.
I did see while we were going over this, we got a slew of comments.
Yes, we do have a slew, dude, of comments here. Talking about the batting 400 at this point. Ernie says Luis Arise was at 400 around late June, July 2 seasons ago. Josh B throws out Tony Gwynn, dude.
Right, but I mean Tony Gwynn 20 years ago. I was talking recent, but I mean,
Arise.
But was it really? It was really in July.
I don't know about 4. I mean, I definitely remember him like consistently having a 330, 350 average like for a long time.
No, and obviously
Swami.
I'm gonna look it up, but he probably is right. But also, it's just crazy. Like Arise is like a pure singles hitter. Judge to be able to do it and then hitting 50 home runs is just absolutely nuts.
Yes, no, it is crazy. And then we have JD in the house.
JD,
who's just Tony. You waited for Juan Soto's safety at Yankee Stadium. Of course, with the series this upcoming weekend.
The brush back pitch. Finally,
we're
going to find out.
Like, they should have heightened security around the stadium.
In the stadium.
Maybe Soto, some bodyguards, dude. I mean, not for nothing. I do think not only are there going to be chirps, but, not for nothing. We've seen fans throw shit on the field, and it's not going to be good. It's, the boos, the possibility of the brush back. I don't think it's going to happen still. But nonetheless, I think it's going to be very, what's what I'm looking for? Aggressive.
Oh, and by the way, Arise hit 438 through April 2 years ago, hit only 330 in May and then 406 in June. His first half batting average was 383. So, in the neighborhood of what Ernie was saying.
Yeah, definitely. And then Josh B says over under a month for Stanton to go on the IL again after he returns.
I don't know. I feel like he's going to be eased in. He's not going to be playing all the time. I don't know why. I'm just not anticipating that, given the long layoff as well. I think they're really going to, go at it, as they would say, Tony, with kid gloves,
possibly here. Ernie getting a good laugh out of that, saying give it to the over. But if you said 2, I'd say the under. I mean, we'll see. Obviously, you want the guy to obviously remain healthy. It would be kind of crazy to think about, him coming into this lineup red hot. Especially with the way Goldschmidt's been hitting. Obviously, talking about Judge too.
Rice,
dude. Dominguez heating up, dude. It really is cool, honestly, at this point to see, though, like Goldschmidt doing so well and Max Fried doing so well, because, not for nothing. I mean, I feel like, some guys were a little bit, I think, quick on the trigger to kind of dismiss those 2 players.
Well, specifically Goldschmidt.
Yeah.
Oh, he's 38.
Yeah.
Like, he hit 245 last year. Mm-hmm. Like, what are you doing? Why didn't you sign Christian Walker? I mean, there was a lot of that.
And then Ernie saying Soto 2 for 4, 2 homers against the Yanks. Mets will lose 2-8.
And
interesting call,
says,
dude.
All right, dude.
I mean, listen. I mean, honestly, I would say it's more likely the Mets win than the Yankees to have for Soto to have a 2 for 4 night with 2 homers. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, he's earning to do something like that. Obviously, not the loss, but
right.
I'm saying hitting
the home runs. Yeah. It should be interesting, honestly, to see how he takes that. I mean, I would say by far probably going to be the highest pressure on him to, produce.
And especially, I think it'll be tough too. First pitch up and in, he hits the deck. I mean, it's going to be tough to kind of stand in there.
I don't think that's going to happen, though. I don't know, dude. I mean, we'll see, dude.
You don't think Schmidt? Oh, actually, no, wait. Who's supposed to be pitching for that one? Actually, I had this up
for
before.
game 1.
Yeah.
Let's see, dude. Rodon.
Oh, yes, dude. Rodon is a guy, especially lefty, right?
Yeah.
The warm weather, the ball could just slip out of the hand. No. No, what I'm saying, isn't it Rodon? Like, I think Rodon,
I mean, he's definitely gonna be throwing a fastball, right?
But if you think about it too, Rodon out of all their pitchers would be the most likely guy to do it. Like with Cole being injured.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think you're not wrong, dude. Yeah. They go to opener on Saturday. Interesting, huh?
Probably Yarborough.
Yeah. All right, dude. Not bad. But in any case, I think we had a couple more comments here. My guy Goldie says Josh B.
Josh B hitting that one on the head. Not the 350 average, but just that he would be a great player.
And then Ernie says me, Barnes, and Johnson like geniuses so far. All predicted these guys to be fine. I don't know. I think he's being sarcastic. I don't know if you guys were predicting that to be fine.
Maybe not Josh B. No, Josh B like certain guys, but I'm just saying, like, I think me and Ernie, like, really were just saying, like, no issues, like, we're in control, and here we are, first place. Also, too, I thought about this. They were mentioning on the Yankee postgame yesterday, again, we talk about, like, historical things, franchise being around a while. Most runs scored by the New York Yankees through the first 40 games, 70. So that's pretty impressive.
Most runs ever?
No, not runs. Home runs.
Oh, home runs.
I don't know what runs. Yeah, scoring not even 2 runs a game. So I mean that's an impressive statistic.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. So like I said, pumped up. Let's go. And looking forward to these next couple series coming up. And like I had said at the Open, the Mets taking 2 out of 3 as well.
Yeah, dude. Again, the parallels, dude. Yeah. Winning Friday and Sunday, losing the game on Saturday, late, bullpen issues nonetheless, though. But, I mean, obviously, you got to be excited. We talked about the Cubs having one of the top offenses in baseball. Other than Saturday, I mean, you do hold them to 2 runs on Friday and Sunday, which is great. And a big part of that on Friday was courtesy of Clay Holmes here, who throws 6 innings of just 1-run ball there with 5 Ks. His ERA is down to a 2.74 after having the highest ERA, which I think, honestly, he may still have the highest ERA in the Mets rotation. But still, bringing that down from, I think, after his first 3 starts was like a 3.3. It's now down to a 2.7, which is great. We had Brett Beatty getting called up. Obviously, we know Winker injured, the DH role, a little bit of a I guess toss up right now. They're throwing Vientos in there for a little bit. We've seen them throw Marte in there as well. But obviously they're bringing up Beatty, which I like that, honestly, dude. I mean, we know some of the struggles that Vientos have been having at the plate, up and down. So bring up Beatty, rather, give him some more looks at third base.
For fantasy spot start. What was it on Saturday? On Saturday, yes, had him for the Saturday spot start.
Let's go,
dude. All
right. Absolutely outstanding. He had a great series against the Cubs. 4 hits in these 3 games, 3 homers with 6 ribbies. And he had those 3 homers in the first 2 games too. So I think he came up with a little bit of a fire lit underneath him for sure. But as I said, dude, Clay Holmes having a good outing on Friday. We got the score starting off with Lindor. Also had a great series against the Cubs here. Solo shot in the first, made it 1-0. And I mean, as we've seen so many times with Lindor, to a leadoff hit or leadoff homer to get the offense starting is just absolutely outrageous. And he's been doing a great job at that. I mentioned Beatty with 3 homers this weekend. That came in the second inning. The first one, anyway, to make it 2-0. In that same inning, McNeil making it 3-0. So, the Mets lineup getting to Jameson Taillon early and often. Hammered, dude.
I benched him for fantasy, honestly.
You benched him for this game?
Had an extra starter.
Nice.
I was like, he's been pitching well, but I just had a feeling the Mets at home,
Listen, and that's always a tough decision, too, to take a start away from one of your pitchers on fantasy.
Who's been pitching well.
Yeah, exactly. Who's been pitching well up until this point. He does get a little bit run out of the building here. Third inning gives up another 2 runs. A little bit of a scoring error, though, by Dansby Swanson. But regardless, that's 5-0 right there after an Acuna ground out, fielder's choice. Everybody's safe. I mentioned the throwing error by Dansby, which is unlike Swanson. But nonetheless, that's 5-0, and that would end Jameson Taillon's night. 4 innings pitched, 9 hits, 5 earned runs given up, and he threw 100 pitches in those 4 innings. So again, the location just really wasn't there, getting hit early and often. The 9 hits, kind of outrageous. But nonetheless, you do finally, I guess, get the 1 earned run off of Clay Holmes. Solo shot by Tucker, who obviously has been on fire this year for the Cubs, one of their top hitters. Made it 5-1 just like that. But then we do get an answer, bottom of the 4th, the Soto homer, 434 feet to right center. That made it 6-1. And then he tacked on another RBI single in the bottom of the 8th. He scored Lindor, made it 7-1. And then obviously the bullpen getting the job done. Static comes in to relieve Holmes there for the 7th. It was, I think, a 3-up, 3-down inning with 1 strikeout, only through 11 pitches. Nunez came in, who's been, obviously, again, we talked about the bullpen injuries, Minter, Young. You got to use Nunez. Unfortunately, comes in, location issues, gets 2 outs, throws 24 pitches, but that's it, dude. 2 walks. Those 2 outs were from strikeouts, but obviously, location wasn't really on top of the ball there. Garrett came in to get the final out, excuse me, of the 8th. Then you had Buteau, come in to close out this game here. Excuse me. He pitches the inning, gets 3 strikeouts, gives up 2 hits, 1 earned run, which was a Bush solo shot. I think that led off the inning, I believe. Made it 7-2 just like that, but nonetheless closes this game out. Holmes gets the win. He's 5-1 on the year, and I mentioned his low ERA. Absolutely outstanding for him, I think. And what a way to set the tone, I think, for starters here. Just giving up that 1 solo shot to Tucker. We mentioned, one of the better run differentials in the game here for the Cubs. Very hot bats coming into this series. So to start it off by kind of stifling their offense, limiting them to 2 runs, as well as, what they have, like 3 hits, I think, as a team here. Hold on. Let's see, 5. That's 6 hits as a team. So to limit the damage there.
One of their worst offensive outputs of the season.
Yeah. For a series as well, too. So that was great. Moving on, I mentioned 1 loss here on the Saturday, dude.
It was just Saturday. It must have been a Saturday thing.
It must have been the Saturday thing. I guess so. The Knicks, the Yankees, the Mets here. Not a great day for New York sports. And we did get a Tyler McGill sighting here. You get the start here, his past 2 starts now have looked a little shaky. And obviously, this is, again, another pitcher here who didn't really expect to be in the rotation this year at this point. Obviously, the Mets awaiting the return of 2 of their starters here. But he gets knocked around, honestly, a Jameson Taillon-esque outing for him. Only pitches 4 2/3, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks. Does manage to get 7 strikeouts, but the scoring against him was early and often. Giving up a couple leadoff hits here. You get Suzuki, another batter who's been red hot. Obviously finding his way here for the first time in this Mets series Saturday. Gets an RBI single to score Pete Crow Armstrong, who did some more damage later in the game. We'll talk about that. Dansby Swanson getting his bat hot as well, reaches infield single to 3rd, makes it 2-0. The pitcher here for the Cubs, Keller here, the opener, does get 1 inning under his belt. The 2 Ks looks solid. And they go to, I think it's Chase Horton, no relation to Charlie. But he pitches 4 innings of 3 earned run ball, so manages his way through. Doesn't end up getting the win here for the Cubs as well. But as I said, the scoring was often for the Cubs. Top of the 3rd, a couple leadoff hits. Suzuki, I believe, on 2nd. A single to center, scores Suzuki by Bush. That'll make it 3-0 just like that. And the Mets bats here were kind of few and far between in terms of getting some hits. You want to look at just in terms of team hits, they did have 8, but of course it is the RISP that is the problem. 1 for 10 this game, Brian, with runners in scoring position.
Not going to get it done.
Not going to get that done at all, especially when you do have that outing by McGill. So, it is unfortunate. They do have, the opportunities to score runs, but it's, again, like you see it often, especially with that, kind of the bottom half of the lineup, even though you did have Beatty with a good game, Taylor with a good situational hit. It was Alvarez who did actually had to leave the game because he got hit on his thumb that he had surgery on. He ended up leaving the game and Terrence came in. But in any case, where was I? Oh, that's right. The Beatty, the home run, bottom of the 4th, his 2nd of the weekend, absolutely red hot. It was a 3-run blast, made it 4-3. Kind of felt like late night Mets action, but no, dude. I mentioned really the rest of the lineup just was not doing well.
But Beatty did.
Yeah, exactly. But Beatty, Craddock comes in to relieve Cabrera there in the 7th, no, in the 8th. Gives up 2 runs. He's another one too. Obviously, the bullpen pitching out of their breaches. Max Craddock specifically being one of those younger bullpen arms that was pitching really well. But I want to say his last, like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 outings, he's probably given up like 4 runs. 2 of them coming yesterday off of an Amaya RBI, 2 RBI single to score Bush and Horner. So obviously that's a little unfortunate there. Makes it 6-3. You go to bottom of the 8th. Again, Brett Beatty coming up clutch, dude, with Vientos on the bags. I think he was on first. A 2-run homer, made it 6-5. Unfortunately, though, that was the rest of the scoring there for the Mets. You go to bottom of the 9th. Again, Diaz comes in top of the 9th, 3 up, 3 down. Great job there. I got Hodge coming for the bottom of the 9th. You kind of think like, all right, McNeil, leadoff walk. You get to the top half of your lineup here, or top of your lineup. Lindor grounds out to double play. We don't see that often. And then Soto grounds out to second. So kind of unfortunate because you felt like bottom of the 9th, the Mets had it, but obviously fell short. But of course, the team in terms of that risk number could have been way better. But then you move on to Sunday because you had a Griffin Canning start, who, again, Griffin Canning, by the way, it really is kind of unbelievable the amount of good starts you've been putting together. On this Sunday here, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 5 Ks, 92 pitches thrown too, so pretty efficient. Speaking of the low ERA, 2.36, a pitcher who last season,
led the American League in hits.
Yeah, dude. So who looked like he was absolute garbage, reinventing himself. With Hefner and the rest of the pitching staff here for the Mets. And then the offense. I was talking about Terrence, who does get the start here, precautionary because of Alvarez, the thumb. They obviously want to keep an eye on that. He gets a triple in the bottom of the second year score. Marte makes it 1-0. This was a nice little back and forth here. Canning here, who did have the 1 earned run. We're going to go all the way to the top of the 6th, Brian, okay? Pete Crow Armstrong, who I think hit his 9th home run.
Yeah, he's been on a tear. Shout out Josh B. We took him number 1 overall.
Really?
In the fan track stuff.
Obviously, as a Mets fan, it is tough to see this guy having such success.
What was the trade, do you know?
You're going to love this one, dude. They traded him to the Cubs for Javier Baez. Trevor Williams, dude, and some cash. So the former first-round pick by the Mets, obviously paying some dividends there for the Cubs. Don't ask where Baez and Williams are right now, dude. So obviously,
been on Terra too. I don't know if you've seen that.
Has he been?
Yeah, like absolutely on fire. Like one of the hottest fantasy pickups.
I really don't care.
I have him in our league, dude.
So in any case, 1-1 game. But what here, Vientos comes up pretty clutch here. Kind of funny, actually. It was one of those times I was sitting on the couch with my mom, and, Vientos is up, obviously, after the Pete Crow Armstrong. It's like 1-1. You're like, oh, man, Vientos up. My mother was like, you know what? Vientos has been hitting some clutch hits. And I'm like, Mom, he hasn't really been that great. And then what do you know? Bang, dude. Solo shot, dude. How many times, Brian? Makes it 2-1 just like that. So you kind of feel good. And obviously after the 6th here, after you retake the lead, that was the end of Canning's night. Again, just that 1 earned run in the 6th off of Pete Crow. So you have to see that. You do it. Garrett comes in here, gives up a couple hits, unearned run to Nico Horner, a double to left that scored Bush, makes it 2-2. But then again, the back and forth, you get Lindor coming up, leading off the bottom of the 8th here. Solo shot makes it 3-2 like that after I believe Soto, I think, flew out to center. Alonso gets a nice double, I believe, stand-up double to right. And then you get Vientos, RBI single to center, scoring. Alonso makes it 4-2. Nimmo, after him, a 2-shot homer, scoring Azekar as well as himself, obviously makes it 6-2. And then the bullpen takes care of the rest, dude. Static coming in for the 7th. And obviously, I know it's 6-2, but still, some of the outings that Static has had was just leaving absolute lollipop over the middle of the plate. For him to come in the 8th, 3 up, 3 down, struck out Birdie, struck out Pete Crow Armstrong, had Tucker fly out to center, so struck out some big names there. You love to see that. And then obviously Diaz in the 9th as well, 3 up, 3 down, all on ground outs, utilizing the slider, which is pretty interesting. Cubs, they were saying on the broadcast, one of the better fastball hitting teams. So I think it was kind of cool to see Diaz to go to his slider there. closing out the game, 6-2, win the series. Obviously, you're on to Pittsburgh today, which will be pretty interesting. But still, you're happy. They took 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. A lot of guys saying big litmus test for the Mets here in terms of their pitching staff because of the offense the Cubs have. And obviously, I mean, you score a ton as well. What is it, 12, 19 runs, 18 runs, 3 games against the Cubs too. So you'll have to see that for the Mets. Hopefully you can keep the offense bumping, the pitching solid. Because like you said, for the Yankees, just like them, Steelers, Pirates here, going to be a tough series. You are facing Skeens, and I guess Keller too, right? So, and then I guess Falters there, it would be their next pitcher up. So you're kind of getting the top end of their rotation. They do have some bats as well, and then of course after this, you do have the Yankees series this weekend. So you want to keep the good times rolling here. And hopefully, you get past Skeens. Maybe, who knows? I know, again, Skeens still off to a great year, but does look human after all this season. So you never know. But hey, I mean, you got to be happy 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. Let's freaking go, dude.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just exciting stuff. Nothing like the midst of the Major League Baseball season.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. I mean, I think it's especially for New York ball right now. I mean, things are humming. The Bronx this weekend is going to be like absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
like honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Did we get a couple more?
We have 5 comments, Brian.
I thought we had 9. Did you check Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So let's see. Simply Fuego.
There we go.
Coming in here says F the Mets, dude. Listen, buddy, thanks for tuning in. YouTube. I don't know if you're a kid or if that's your photo from being a kid. But fuck you. How about that, dude?
Wow. I think that's the strongest I've ever seen you, Tony. Honestly, everything okay?
Oh, come on, dude.
Quick turnarounds.
JD says some say Cubs pitcher Kate Horton is the next Kerry Woods or Mark Pryor.
What do you think?
I mean, I guess he got the win on Saturday, but
he
has some work to do. I mean, naturally,
Yeah.
So you never know, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to honestly ask like a Cubs fan, to be honest. Not that I know any, I guess. But let's say Ernie says after trading Soto, he's got -9 in 2 games. What is that? 9 in 2 games?
I don't know.
Skiing starts my week. Let's fucking go. Fleeced, he says. Oh, because he's traded Soto. So I don't know what -9 in 2 games is. I don't know, but I wish his first name was Tim, JD. Tim Horton. I guess he's making a joke.
Tim Horton.
Chains, dude.
Canada.
Yeah, pretty good, I guess.
Right.
Not Ernie's best, though.
Speaking of Ernie.
Speaking of Ernie, his best buddy here, Michael Buckner, early starts again, ? Holy, he says. Ernie and I had quite the late night convos this weekend, he says.
We wanted you to sleep in, Michael.
Yeah, to that, I have no doubt, though. Dude. Michael, I don't think sleeps in ever.
His point total the last two games.
Oh, point total.
-9,
dude. And again, I mean, you got Skeen starting, so hopefully he doesn't get popped by this Mets lineup, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, especially, Skeens could even do a brush back. You never know.
Oh my gosh. I would say it's more likely it happens at Yankee Stadium than for Paul Skeens.
Yeah, I would say so as well. Do we have picks updated?
Not updated. We'll have to update them
I think
live.
I crushed
dude.
it, honestly.
I would have no doubt here because you had the Yankees in the over, which hit, right?
Right.
So that's 2-0 right there. Tigers had a great weekend, right? So
yep, I took the Tigers.
Tigers in the under.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
so 4-0 right there.
And then what was the other one?
Then you had the Padres and Zeova. Padres in the over sweeping the Friday here. Bang.
Wow.
6-0 with games to make up, dude. As we're approaching, by the way, what we say, the 16th, right?
Yeah.
So that's fucking wild,
shit. I didn't
dude.
realize. Yeah, like I don't have time. To catch up.
But I mean, you may have right now because
you might have went 0-6.
I don't think I did, dude. Because Mets in the over, dude, 2-0.
No, 9.5 there.
I mean, I can double check, but
Definitely
not, dude. Hit the box score. She went to the game cast. God damn. Oh wow, dude. I guess. Oh wait. 7.5. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess it opened at 9.5.
Gotcha.
In any case, let's see. Hold on, I gotta go back here now. What else did I had? Brewers and the under, dude. Which probably was a 1-1 here. I would imagine it was like a 7.5 situation. It was a 9.5. So that makes it 3-1. And then, of course, I had the Guardians with the over there. The Phillies getting shut out by Gavin Williams, dude. We'll put it at another 1-1. So that's a 4-2 spot for me. You were 6-0 here, so that improves to a.
Well, I'm saying, I make up 2 games. Great. After I go fucking 6-0, Tony.
Yes, dude. But that improves you, Brian. I think you'll like this. 49-35.
At least I really made it. I was under 500.
Yeah, you were under
really
500.
Been on a bender.
Yeah, dude, you absolutely have. I improved though to 50-34.
So 1 game back.
So what once was a 3-game lead at the start of the weekend is now down to a 1-game lead.
Okay, so actually there is hope. Let's do it.
Yeah. Don't be so sad, Brian.
I'm not going to be sad. Let's strike up the music to do a Monday edition as the MLB 6-pack brought to you by the Hirsch Law Firm. Do you remember who's up?
I want to say me because
Okay.
I want to say you went to the Bronx first.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, I do remember.
Yes, Brian. Yes, dude. And it is interesting. I mean, do I come in here? Do I go with the Mets here? Paul Skeens, kind of tough. I think I will. Why not, dude? Take a flyer. Take a chance. I mean, they're the Mets, dude. Like, let's fucking go here. I'm wearing the hat today. It's a big Monday. It is David Peterson, dude, who is boasting a 3.05 ERA. Obviously, Skeens, 2.77, doing well. And, I mean, maybe needless to say, I'm taking the under. And I'm going to say here, why not, dude? On the 9th to heat him up for the week, going in the weekend. Juan Soto, dude. Solo shot, walking it off. Mets win this game 3-2. Start off this series right. Let's fucking go. Bang.
All right. And speaking of starting out the week right, Yankees in Seattle, 9:40. First pitch there, coming from T-Mobile Park. Clark Schmidt, Eric Hancock. Yankees minus 145 on the road. I think they come out swinging. And I think this is honestly an easy win. I think Clark goes 6 innings, 2 earned, strikes out 7. And I think Hancock doesn't make it out of the 4th.
Damn.
Yankees tagging him for 6 runs, and I think they end up winning 9-4. So give me the Yankees and the over. Give Judge's major league leading 15th home run as well.
Why not, dude? I guess I'll go on the road here, West Coast, a team that I feel like Brian is often chosen this season so far. 9:04 p.m. The Padres, Petco Park, dude. King. Getting the start here, a 2.22 ERA, dude. 4-1 on the year. Against a familiar face here, a UC Kikuchi, dude. Not good. Still searching for his first win this season. The Angels, who are 7 games under 500. The Padres, who are 14-4 at home. Definitely one of the better home records, I'm sure. What's the over-under set at? I probably should have looked at that. I mean, I would think, King, solid. Padres, I guess they could go off. Padres in the over. Why not, dude? Over under 7.5 is pretty low, honestly, in my opinion. I think they can score 7 on their own, dude. I think Machado goes out. He's been hot. 3.24 average. Tatis gets his 10th homer of the season. And a few runs batted in as well. Maybe a Rise, who we know has had a very high batting average this point of the season before. A couple hits for him as well. Padres win this game. I'll say, 7-2. Nice and easy. Padres in the over, baby.
All right. So I am going to go to Texas and take the Rangers here. Our favorite spot, the 2-17 Road Rockies.
Goddamn.
The best fade spot you can find. Tyler Mahle 3-1, 148 ERA, going against the worst offense in baseball. I'll take my chances with the 20-21 Texas Rangers here. I think this is an easy win for them. Chase Dollander, 2-3, 7-7-1. I think the Rangers will win this game. Let's say 8-2. So we'll go Rangers in the over.
Rangers in the over. That's a good call right there. Let's put that down. Regs over. For my third and final here, I think we will go to Chicago. The Cubs, Wrigley Field. Give me Chicago on the bounce back. Another good team to fade here at Miami, the Marlins. Over under here is 8.5. Colin Ray on the mound for the Cubs here. 2.43 ERA against Cal Quantrill with an ERA that is above 7, dude. So over under is tough. Obviously, give me the Cubs, as I mentioned, on the bounce back. I say Pete Crow Armstrong back-to-back homers. In his first 2 at-bats of this game. These two teams first time seeing each other. I guess I'll go with the over. Why not, dude? Balls are flying. Nice day. Wrigley Field. I'm not sure the park factor there, but give me the Cubs and the over for my last game.
All right. And then for my last game here, I'm going to go to Motown. Shout out John Pollock. Is it Joe Job on the hill
it is.
for the Tigers going up against Tanner Houck?
Jackson Job.
Houck has struggled 0-2, 6.10 ERA.
Not good.
Red Sox, 22-20 on the year, 11-11 away from Fenway Park. Tigers, a stout 14-5 at Comerica Park.
Nice.
But I think this is an easy win for the Tigers. How about Gleyber Torres? A 4th inning grand slam off of Houck, knocked out of the game. Tigers 7-3 over the Red Sox. Tigers over just like that.
Book
MLB 6-pack. Book it. Maybe taking the outright lead tomorrow morning, but we'll see.
Maybe not.
And I hope Ernie is in the building because it is grid time. And I did see, and there are a couple Rookie of the Year situations here, which is our favorite, of course.
Damn, would have been nice if it was Detroit because we have one for that.
Yeah, it would have been nice. It's not, though, Tony. So we'll have to make do with what we have. And honestly, shout out Ernie, because this is one of his favorites for Yankees, Cubs there. I know he's mentioned his name a lot. Let's do Ted Lilly, Tony.
Ted Lilly for Yankees, Cubs. Is that one of his favorites?
Oh, yeah.
Yo, yeah. 0.7, dude.
So I feel like this one actually really isn't going to be too bad besides Rookie of the Year. Did he throw anything out, or he just said he's here? He's here.
He says he's here. Early is good for him, he says. So obviously
good.
Loving the early start is Yearny, dude.
Yearny. I don't know if we go heel for the Rookie of the Year. Trying to think of,
Yeah, yeah, why not, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Luis Gil. 6%.
It's crazy that was last year, but the reason why it's 6% is because everyone goes, Judge.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, true. 20 wins?
20 wins, dude. How about Mike Mussina? Did it in his last year of his career, only 21 season. How about that, Tony?
Actually, love that one, dude.
7%.
7%.
There we go. The
Yankees
Yankees sweep across the board here, right? Yes. Or no, Tony. Or no.
Yeah.
No. It wasn't. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, it is a sweep. It's a sweep, dude. It's a sweep.
Cubs Cards. I mean, there's got to be a bunch of guys on the Cubs and the Cards, no?
Yeah, I'm sure, dude. A bunch of guys, dude.
Why don't you just ask him, dude, right?
Jose Bautista, dude. Bang.
St. Louis and Cubs. I can't believe Jose Bautista was on either of those teams.
It is crazy how many freaking teams that guy's been on.
The top one.
Yes, dude. 28.
Oh, and that is when we have to go back channels because that's Ernie's fault, honestly. I knew it. I knew he was not. I feel like he wasn't on either of those teams, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I remember him, not Dave Bautista. I want Jose Bautista. I feel like I remember seeing him in a Cards jersey.
Neither.
Oh my God, it is neither.
I knew it. I can't wait to see what this Swami has to say about that one.
Maybe different Jose.
But there is no different Jose. Or I guess you could see if that one was it. But it's like, Ernie's got to clarify, though, honestly, because if we're going one Jose Batista, you know what I mean? I think this is an appropriate back channels. He didn't clarify, and we just go through the back channels, Tony.
Yeah, he hasn't said anything yet.
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal, dude. Our homie.
Incognito.
Immaculate grid here. How to play. I know. I'm not new. Just incognito. Hold on. I got to share the window. Stand by, everybody. Has to be 93, 97. Yes, thank you, Ernie.
Thanks. 10 minutes later.
Just
kidding.
Let's see. No, this one. We want this one. Yeah, dude.
So Lily, Heel, Musina.
Or we. Yeah, there it is, dude. We're good. Oh. Wrong one.
Might as well just exit one then out, huh?
Yeah, really should. I don't want to look at it, dude. Ted Lilly.
Don't even want to think about
Got it, dude. Heel. Luis Heel. Oh, Mike. Musina. Bang, dude. And I mean, I guess we'll do the other.
Jose Batista, yeah. Still can't believe that, honestly.
St. Louis Rookie of the Year,
and also
dude.
Twins Cubs.
Latrell
Hawkins. Book it.
Hawkins. Book it. Bang.
All right. The 20 winner.
I mean, for St. Louis, I mean, does Mikolas have it?
Did Carpenter get it?
I don't know.
Mikolas definitely didn't. No.
I would think
Bob
one
Gibson?
of those two. Bob Gibson?
80%. I feel like Carpenter did. I think go Carpenter.
Let's see if Ernie said anything. I hope is that black? Is that blacking us out, right? Oh no, it's not okay.
I don't know for sure though, but that was just kind of my.
I mean, let's maybe keep it on the back burner for now because
right.
I'm not sure either.
Rookie
of the year for St. Louis. Oh.
Is Ernie calling?
This is Ernie calling. I don't know why it keeps doing that. All right, stand by. Ernie, patching you through here. All right, Ernie, you're live, dude. Ernie? Ernie! I hear the noise in the background.
Right?
What's up, dude?
All right.
Carpenter.
No, don't you dare go Carpenter. No, don't you dare go Carpenter.
Who is it?
Ernie?
You can hear me, guys?
Yeah, we got you. Who do you got for 20 wins?
Oh, okay, because that's fine. It's the show was still playing on the phone.
All right, funny.
So, no, don't go Carpenter.
Why?
Because he did not do Rookie of the Year. You have two choices. You could go with a high number in Albert Pujols, or you could go Todd Worrell.
No. We're saying 20 wins for Carpenter.
Oh, I thought you were doing Rookie of the Year.
No.
Okay, no, the St. Louis Rookie of the Year, do Todd Worrell.
I've never even heard of that, dude.
Todd Burrell or Murrell?
Worrell, W-O-R-R, yeah.
Todd Burrell, there he is.
Okay.
Bang,
5%.
5%. Look at that stash.
So I feel like we go Carpenter for the 20 wins, though, no?
I think you could go Carpenter for the 20 wins.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's 120.
You didn't spell his name right.
Oh my god!
Come on, Tony.
Come on! I thought I did Carpenter. Am I not?
Car.
Car.
Not cop.
Car. Panther, dude.
There we go. Chris Carpenter.
There he is, dude.
All
11%. All right, nice, dude.
Now,
I was kind of ready for the red, honestly.
Who won 20 besides Johan for Minnesota? Burt Bylevin, or I don't even know.
For who?
For Minnesota.
For Minnesota, the
wins.
Twins.
Damn, I would go that, but that's high, right?
Oh,
I think
Tony, you went to
right?
the other grid, by the way.
Oh my god, I did,
Did you
dude.
X out the other one or no?
No, I haven't exited out of this one. Oh, the other one you mean? No. Got this one.
Okay, so you got to put in,
Yeah.
But yeah, rookie of the year and 20-win season for Minnesota. What were you thinking?
I mean, because the thing is, that's high as hell. That's gonna be high. Like, Johan's gonna be high.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to grab who's old. Walter Johnson. Do Walter Johnson.
He pitched for Minnesota?
Yeah, but like this is like old Walter Johnson, like 1920s Walter Johnson.
All right.
7%. There you go. So the Minnesota Rookie of the Year.
That's the part that's killing me right now.
Win it?
I want to say, it's funny that you say that name. I want to say that name, but I can't put my thumb on it.
Because I know you're always big on Liriano.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I'm like, I think he did win Rookie of the Year. Honestly, bro, you might just want to go Chucky Knobs and just call it a day.
He won Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, Chucky Knobs won Rookie of the Year.
Chuck.
I think he won it. I think it was 91 when he came in.
Chuck Knobloch?
Yeah, let's do it. What?
Okay. Is he going to be in here? Yeah, dudes. He did it.
Tony was expecting red. That must have been high.
33%, dude.
Oh, man.
But I mean, what are you going to do there? I know.
Still got an 80, and even after the Batista snafu. Yeah, you really caught us off guard there. The other Jose Batista, Ernie?
Yeah, my bad, brother.
It's all right. Honest mistake.
When I commented it, and then you guys put it up in the thing, I was like, oh, shit, should have been specific.
Yeah, no, all good, man, all good. So at least we got through another grid. And the Yankees are ripping the cover off the ball, so life is good right now, right?
Oh, life is beautiful. Listen, anybody, I think I put it on, I put your stat on Facebook for people to wake up to nice and early in the morning. Said if you thought the Yankees were make the playoffs, eat a bag of dicks.
Nice.
Everybody's getting extra aggressive. Tony, you this morning, I mean, stuff's like flying off the wall.
You know what it is? Because you know what it is? It's around this time of the, this time of the year, you start to see, like, what your team is, like, really gonna kind of look like. The questions coming off of off season and all of that. Like look, if I was a Mets fan, I'd be very happy. Even with Soto's struggles, they're still winning, so it's like cool, like no problem, whatever. Like I mean, even for the Yankees fans, like I'm pretty sure we can get more out of Belly than we're getting out of him. More out of Volpe than we're getting out of him when Jazz comes back. We got to make sure that he comes back nice and swinging, but we're still winning. So, you know, even though, 5 games that Devin gave up, if you add those 5 games to the win total, we're like the second best team in the league. So, you know, I think everybody's good. Everybody's happy. The Subway Series should be very entertaining. Mm-hmm. I think it'll be also very telling. Like, I'm not going to predict a dub or L, but I will say this, in my opinion, if either team sweeps, it's going to be very, very telling for the rest of the year.
And I'm sure I'll ask you this 10 more times before we get first pitch on Friday, but you think we start the Soto Met era in Yankee Stadium with the brushback?
I want it to. I believe that you should, that it should happen. And at the same time, like, not from like a brawl standpoint, like you don't gotta hit them, but it's more just like, here, hold that real quick. Take this with you.
Yeah. And Rodon would be the guy to do it. Lefty, up and in. So
yeah, actually, it's kind of funny that he's the one that's gonna start, because it's like, yeah, you're right, Barnes. If anybody had the nads to really do that, it would be him.
Yeah, exactly. So exciting stuff. We'll see. But yeah, appreciate the help with the grid, Ernie. And
no doubt, guys.
Go sell some trucks.
Yeah.
All day. Let's go Yankees.
Let's go Yankees.
Yeah, dude.
That is the great Ernesto. All right. So
all right.
Kind of let's just do a little I cover everything else from the weekend. A little potpourri, I guess. I don't know why I said it like that. But anyway, let's just go quickly to the world of the National Hockey League.
Whoa.
stepping. Rink Washington made the full split save.
Are you kidding me?
Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pasternak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
All right. So the NHL playoffs moving along.
That's right.
And we had 2 games yesterday. The Stars and Panthers, both winning home games here. The Stars going up 2-1 in that one. And what a surprise. 3 points for Mikko Rantanen. I mean, really looking like he's, been the best player in the entire postseason this year. So the Jets, a little bit of trouble there. But honestly, to me, I mean, it's even though the Jets had tied it and it was 2-2 going to the third, no surprise. Just something with this Stars team. I mean, they honestly, I've never changed my mind so quickly about a team. I always thought, Stars do nothing. Rantanen, I think, has completely changed the entire complexion of that team.
The legend,
right?
That is Mikko Rantanen, Brian. Yeah, that really is like absolutely outrageous. I mean, that guy, he's playing for a lot, to prove really to himself, to the league, specifically the Avs too. Revenge tear, dude. But obviously, Dallas has been a great team. All season long, obviously pretty solid. And I mean, Rantanen, a goal and 2 assists. I mean, he is absolutely, without a doubt, the difference maker here. And I know, obviously, there was 4 of the goals scored here. 2 other ones, without Rantanen. And obviously, Ottinger's been great this series too. But you do really, you sit here and, you watch this game. You watch the way Dallas, the crowd is reacting to this team too. I mean, you could tell the belief in them going to the Cup right now is pretty high, dude. Right? Not for nothing. And then, of course, Winnipeg, I mean, again, not for nothing, continues to kind of be a disappointment. I'm not going to sit here and say that Hellebuck was at absolute fault for every one of those goals. But still, I mean, letting up 5, his save percentage, 808, 21 saves and 26 shot attempts.
9, Tony.
Literally, dude. And it is kind of crazy. I mean, you think about it. I mean, obviously, Winnipeg dropping 1 at home as well. I mean, that's not good, dude. It's not a great look as we're continuing to be in Dallas for this series. I mean, you would think that they go up 3-1 pretty decisively, and it's going to take a little bit of a miracle for Winnipeg to come back from that. So we'll see what happens. It'll be really interesting to see, how Dallas progresses, who they'll be seeing in the next round as well. But they're playing some absolutely outstanding hockey, dude.
Yeah. And then speaking of outstanding hockey, what do you know? The Panthers went home down 2-0. They head back to Toronto up 2-0. Bravowski, another playoff shutout, and a 2-0 victory over Toronto. Any surprise for you there that they were just kind of go, business-like and tie this series back up?
Honestly, a little bit, dude. Even though on Friday, the Brad Marchand, the OT winner, speaking of the crowd, I thought my TV was going to explode, honestly. With the Florida crowd just absolutely erupting, an overtime winner. And then I definitely didn't expect a shot, that's for sure. I mean, obviously, Bobrovsky, legend, facing 23 shots here. And for his postseason, I think that's his second shutout. Yeah, second shutout of this postseason, which has been great. And not for nothing to do it against a team like Toronto with their firepower. Even their physicality of Florida coming in here and really again, just kind of play their game. If they do, by the way, win this series, I think they'll be the 7th team to be the returning champion, the defending champion, and to come back from down 2-0 in a series.
The next year.
Yeah, exactly. The following season, which is outrageous. I mean, I think that really speaks true to the Panthers' resiliency if that does happen. I mean, we've seen them come back again. I mean, I will always reference that series against the Bruins, forcing a Game 7, beating them in Game 7 in TD Garden. Not an easy thing to do, and that was the Bruins President's Trophy year. So, I mean, this team, this roster, no stranger to these comeback victories. And not for nothing, I know we go back to Toronto, but the Maple Leafs, after getting shut out, I mean, they should feel like they're a little bit on their heels here. But we'll see. Joseph Wall has been impressing me. Backup tender, obviously, with Stolar still being out with the concussion. I mean, 35 saves, only giving up 2 goals to a team that had the chances they had. good for him. He's definitely, I would say, a silver lining in this loss that you can kind of lean on him. But I mean, obviously, you got to find a way to score here. Bobrovsky's fucking dialed in. So.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what things look like in Game 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have 2 Game 4s tonight. First one, 7 o'clock, Lenovo Center, TNT True TV Max. The Hurricanes and the Caps. Carolina up 2-1 here. So really a chance here to get into position against Washington. Are you surprised the way that Washington has struggled in this series? Really was one of the hottest teams in the league all year, but have not looked that great so far in these 3 games.
Yeah, no, I definitely am surprised. Again, I'll say this again. They are looking like when the Rangers would play the Hurricanes,
right?
You know, I mean, they're having such a tough time moving the puck because the Hurricanes are just in their freaking faces all day. But I am surprised that they are struggling because, I mean, they were a team that was offensively red hot all season, obviously. But I mean, I don't know. We haven't really seen Ovechkin get going. I mean, he's been kind of shut down this series. Obviously, Hurricanes, great defense, the depth for the defenders as well. And they have a lot of back-checking forwards. So it is making it very hard for anyone, including Alexander Ovechkin, to have any time and space. But I mean, listen, they obviously won here. They have a game underneath their belt in terms of a victory, but Lenovo Center, Hurricanes, I mean, it's going to be tough, dude. And if you're down 3-0, I mean, this is a must-win for Washington.
I say Ovechkin hat-trick tonight.
Honestly, I would imagine that this is one of those games that does just absolutely go off. And you know what, dude? You got to, stop Sebastian Aho and Svechnikov. I think Svechnikov had the first goal last game.
Mm-hmm.
That was, the 4-0 shutout, right? So, I mean, you got to not let them get going early. You have to get going early. You have to set the tone. I feel like in all 3 of these games, even the game you won, you were just kind of playing, you were chasing Carolina.
Right.
And they got to come out. And like I said, I mean, if it is going to be Ovechkin, let's fucking go right now, dude. Now's the time.
Yeah. Do you think they do?
I do think that they win here tonight, honestly.
And at least
tie it up.
3 points from Ovechkin, or?
Yeah, I can see that. 2 goals and an assist or a hat trick, as you're predicting here. Yeah, no, absolutely, dude.
He didn't come this far for nothing.
Exactly.
And then a pivotal game in Edmonton, the Knights winning on Saturday. To cut the deficit to 2-1. So McDavid, Draisaitl, the boys. I mean, this is it right here. I mean, you go up 3-1. It feels like that's gonna be it.
Yeah, it does feel like it would be it. I will say, I mean, the tide is certainly turning a little bit. I mean, that win, I was actually watching it in the bar we were at in Watertown.
No one else paying attention but you.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
But I think it was Riley Smith, dude, with 0.4 on the clock, dude, scores a goal. And I don't know what was going through Skinner's head. I don't know if he thought but honestly, I really don't know. But he came out so aggressively, almost beyond the blue, dude. Then kind of Riley Smith had some room, little deke, Skinner just completely out of position. And it was kind of crazy because at first, the horn to end regulation blew instead, but Vegas was kind of celebrating. Oilers still out on the ice. They had to review the play, take a few minutes, obviously confirmed it. Clear goal, clear time left on the clock here. And a real unfortunate way for the Oilers, who, again, I mean, they go to overtime. I would bet my money the Oilers win, as they have been winning in overtime this postseason. But instead, G-Knights shut the door, 2-1, some momentum. Obviously, we're in Edmonton again here, so we'll see what happens. But that's one of those games, one of those goals, one of those last second, just gut-wrenching losses that can kind of turn the tides here. So, we'll see what McDavid is like in the locker room. If he's, rallying the boys here for the Oilers. Obviously, they've been very successful in these 3 games in terms of scoring. I mean, has there been a game that's hit the under in this series? No.
Yeah, I don't think so. No.
I don't think so.
No.
So we'll see what happens, dude. But I mean, the Oilers are looking really good, so it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, let's go Oilers. Anyway, Tony, so that's the NHL basketball over the weekend. Obviously, we talked about the Knicks getting throttled in game 3 there at Madison Square Garden, 115-93. Celtics hitting those 23 pointers. You had the Timberwolves taking out the Warriors. Warriors were actually had a chance in that game without Curry, which is surprising. So
Crazy.
Knicks up 2-1, Timberwolves up 2-1. Yesterday, the Thunder, even the series with the Nuggets, seems like that one's destined to go 7, 92-87. And then the Cavs got embarrassed by the Pacers. I mean, we're down like 50 points at one point, ended up losing by 20. But they're on the brink of elimination after being the number 1 seed in the East.
Crazy.
That's surprising for sure. But obviously, you got Rick Carlisle there, former championship coach. So he's doing a good job there. But, what are we thinking here? Knicks, 7:30, the Garden, ticket prices slashed. Obviously a sense of urgency because the advantage that you went into Madison Square Garden with will be gone if you don't win this game. What are we thinking here?
Sorry. I guess I'm not going to sit here and say that they played bad defense last game, but I mean,
I kind of think they did.
You got to defend the 3-ball better.
You got to just get like a half closer. Like there's still there's too much space. Even if you're right there,
right?
You're not. Did you see anybody in anybody's face where it was like an uncomfortable shot?
No, and you would think too, with the Celtics not hitting their threes, back against the wall, you want to continue that pressure defensively. And I don't want to say that they're, maybe a little tired or what. I don't know what it is, but they just were not defending quite like they did in the first 2 games. So, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's tough too, because again, the Celtics are a team that could get red hot and then just start rolling, But I say, the Knicks in the Garden, no way they drop another 2 games here. At home against the Celtics. I think back on the grind, back on the defense, the minutes, Brunson, the absolute anchor, dude. And I think from, bookend to bookend, Brian, he's absolutely, making an impact here. I say he drops 40 tonight, to be honest, dude.
Wow.
Absolutely dialed in. Karl-Anthony Towns, obviously, maybe 25 points for him. Playing some good defense. I think maybe we were on the other end of a similar score here that we were at on Saturday. I say Knicks take this one. I'll say 112-100, dude.
Okay.
12-point victory. Double digits, dude.
I think it's like what we saw the first 2 games. Final possession, both teams under 100. And I think they win 94-92.
Comeback victory or?
Comeback victory. Not down 20. But maybe 10 at the half, and maybe Celtics stretches to 12, 14 points, early third, and then they come back and ultimately.
Bless you.
I was anticipating it,
come
and then it just
on,
didn't happen. But anyway, to get that 3-1 lead, so definitely let's go Knicks. Really important game here, and then the Warriors, no Curry at home, try to even this series. I don't think so. I think the Timberwolves, Edwards dialed in, ready to go. That's the second half there of the doubleheader on ESPN. So playoffs move along. And then lastly, the golf over the weekend. You mentioned it. Sepp Straka prevailing his second victory of the season at the Cricket Club there in Philadelphia. 4 rounds in the 60s, 63, 67, 66, 68, 16 under 700 FedEx Cup points and $3.6 million. So an outstanding tournament on his part. And it was, an action-packed leaderboard. You had some major champions at the top. Justin Thomas and Shane Lowry both finishing tied for second at 14 under. And, JT going for his 3rd PGA championship at Quail Hollow starting on Thursday, a place where he won his first major in 2017. And then, so they had a good tournament here. Tommy Fleetwood still looking for that first career PGA Tour win, 12 under, tied for 4th. Cam Young, Stephen Yeager, all were at 10 under with Rory and Keith Mitchell. So Keith, opened with that 61, but was unable to capture the lightning in a bottle afterwards. Xander Schauffele will look to join an exclusive list of back-to-back PGA Tour, PGA Championship, winners. He was 9 under, tied for 11th. So an exciting week of golf coming up. But like we were talking about, I think, the Cricket Club here was an outstanding host. And you would think they'll figure out a way to get this on the schedule.
I would think so too. It was a gorgeous course, wide open. The trophy, the cricket paddle, very cool. And it was a cool tournament. I mean, I think it is, obviously for Sepp Straka to win is great for him. Second win this season. Yes. And then the Mother's Day factor. They talked about his mother, Mary, a huge part into why he got into golf, dude. Bless you.
Thank you.
She worked at the pro shop and whatever golf country club they were at. And obviously him thanking his mother for the victory afterwards. Very nice. Not for nothing, dude. That round 3 was pretty wild because you had JD knocking on the back door. Shane Lowry imploded on the 18th hole, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I think he definitely bogeyed, I think. But they were saying that 18th hole was like the hardest hole to have. It was par 5, hardest hole of the course, dude. And it was kind of crazy because Sepp Straka goes to the tee, shanks it into a bunker. Shane Lowry does the exact same thing, dude. So Lowry, a little bit of a choke job. And dude, they cut to him and he was just like hands in his palms, refused to do the post-tournament interview. Shane Lowry, yeah.
I've never seen him that time.
I know, neither have I, to be honest. I think because he really thought he had the chance, especially after seeing Straka kind of like rope one off the tee.
18.
Yeah, I mean, because again, like Lowry made the mistakes that, I mean, at that point, I think, I don't know, Sepp Straka had like a 10-foot putt, but he could have 2-putt and still won,
Right.
So obviously the opportunity was there for Shane, and he did kind of let it slip through his fingers, but it made for a great tournament. Like I said, too, Justin Thomas almost got it done. Ended up tying for second, right?
Yeah,
with Shane. Yeah. So up until that point, he was in third. Shane would have outright on second. So obviously tough loss there for Lowry. And I feel like too, like not for nothing. I mean, Lowry's been someone who's, I feel like, he's had quite a couple of victories within his grasp this season and just can't really get the job done, dude, which is kind of unfortunate. But in any case, I think that still makes for, again, you talk about Justin Thomas coming into this weekend, even Shane Lowry as well. I mean, those are two guys that are going to be looking heavily to get the win. So I think it's going to, bode for a great storyline, a great tournament this weekend, dude.
Yeah. What's Scotty going to do? What are the live guys going to do?
That's right.
Looking forward to watching that. We'll do the preview on Wednesday, and then also shout out Ryan Fox, your winner in Myrtle Beach. Three-way playoff between him, Mackenzie Hughes, and Harry Higgs. So Fox winning the 300 FedEx Cup points in 720,000. So, congratulations to him.
It's a great payday.
But yeah, I mean, it was definitely an outstanding weekend of sports. And I have to say, an outstanding show this morning. Kind of flew by. Appreciate everybody setting the alarm clocks a little earlier this morning, Tony.
Yes.
We'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming tomorrow.
That's right.
But we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay, and costume the merch at DowntimeTV.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees!
Let's go Mets!
And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.